Starting Wednesday, we have the holiday of Lag BaOmer going into Thursday. I wanted to speak a little bit about the holiday. Most people are familiar with this holiday because we light bonfires, but there's obviously a deeper meaning to it. And one of them, which is the major one, is that the great Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai passed away on that day. Now, that kind of brings up a question, because we know that the reason the 32 days beforehand we haven't been listening to music, we haven't been getting haircuts, is because Rabbi Akiva's students, 24,000 of them died. So why is it that when Rabbi Akiva's greatest student, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, dies, instead of mourning, we celebrate? Based on this question, the Sfaradim do have a custom not to get a haircut up until the next day, which will be on Friday. But there are other opinions, and we wanted to focus a little bit on the understanding of what it means to when a big tzaddik leaves this world. So first off, the Gemara says, Masechet Cholim Gedolim Tzadikim B'mitatam Yoter Mimechayim, that the tzaddikim are greater when they leave this world than they are when they are alive. And we see that with many great tzaddikim, that during their lives people didn't know how great they were, and then when they passed away, their legacy was left in such a powerful way for generations going forward. And with that being said, I want to share something that I read in Rabbi Wallerstein's book, Let There Be Rain. He writes there that he saw the major reason for most problems in relationships, if it's psychological things, emotional things, is that people lack the element of gratitude. It's gratitude towards their spouse, their parents, towards God, and therefore he took an initiative with many books and an application about gratitude. So I wanted to speak his lesson for this day, Yud Bet Be'iyar. He speaks over there a question of the Ktav Sofer regarding why is it that the Jewish nation couldn't just go to war with the Mitzrim. When we left Egypt, we know that during the Midbar, the 40 years that we were there, during our 14 years when we were conquering Eretz Yisrael, we fought many wars. So what was the problem that for Hashem to give us strength, 600,000 men, to go and destroy Egypt? Why does Hashem have to bring them to the sea and drown them over there? And the Ktav Sofer writes something that's a little bit hard to understand, that Rabbi Wallerstein emphasizes, is that we started our destiny within Egypt. When we came to Egypt, we had nothing to eat, Yaakov Avinu and his children, and the Egyptian economy gave us the ability to continue. So we in a sense owed them gratitude, and therefore Hashem didn't let us go to war with them. We see the same thing with Yosef and Eshet Potiphar. We know that when Yosef, he was about to fall into sin, and she grabbed his coat and he ran away. So the Mefarshim, the Ktav Sofer, asks, why is it that Yosef couldn't fight and take back, he was a young man, just take back his coat and get himself out of so much trouble? He brings down that Yosef had that same aspect of Hakarat HaTov, of the ability to feel gratitude towards Potiphar and his wife, even though they were, in a sense, at least Eshet Potiphar became an enemy to him. She was the reason that he went to jail afterwards, but he felt gratitude because they took him and they acquired him and they made him such a great person in Mitzrayim. So we learn over here that even a person that is considered more an enemy than a friend, we still are required to show gratitude towards that person. We'll finish off with a short story that Rabbi Wallerstein brings in the book. He speaks about a great rabbi that after the World War, he realized that there might be a Holocaust, and he decided that he wants to leave from Europe, and he was going towards Australia. And on the ship, there were a few people that weren't so religious. They didn't like the fact that there was a religious boy with them. There was actually him and a friend of his. So they bought them tickets to Canada. And through that, the rabbi went to Canada, entered America, and opened up many yeshivot in America. Later on in his life, he decided that he wanted to open up a yeshiva in Australia because that was his original ticket. He felt gratitude for that place because that was his original escape plan. So we see over here that the best way to live life is to constantly feel gratitude, even for the people that are not necessarily coming to benefit us, even though the place, such as the story with Australia, is not necessarily the place that we ended up being in, but every single thing that gave us some sort of good, some sort of pleasure, when we acquire that attribute of learning how to appreciate, we automatically live much happier and healthier lives. Wishing everyone a Shabbat Shalom.